The title of this week's video is Who Do You Think You Are? Now, this is generally said after a young person does or said something audacious or outrageous or just troublesome. I don't think Suzanne's or my parents would have asked it because they probably would have gotten an answer like, I'm a unique, unrepeatable expression of God. I could see my mother wavering between laughing and being exasperated. So, who are you anyway? How do you introduce yourself? Hi, I'm Tim. We tend to fill that in with our occupation or some other worldly characteristic. And undoubtedly, in a social situation, you might not feel comfortable saying, I'm a unique, unrepeatable, magnificent expression of God. However, how do you answer this question to yourself? Do you see yourself as a unique, unrepeatable, magnificent expression of God? Because that's what you truly are. In the book Your Soul's Assignment by Reverend Chris Michaels, he says, you are not your body, your income bracket, your job, career, or position, your role you play, father, mother, mentor, etc., your address, your education. You are a magnificent expression of God. You are magnificent. If there's somebody around where you're watching this, say that to them. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. If not, say, I am magnificent. The word magnificence comes from the Latin magnum facere, which means to do something great. The Latin word draws on the Greek megaloprepeia. This noun conveys the meaning of doing something great, which is fitting or seemly to the circumstance. Magnificence is a philosophical, aesthetic, and socioeconomic notion deeply rooted in Western culture since classical antiquity. It regards the greatness of actions, courage, excellence, honor, generosity, and splendor of lifestyles of noble purposes. Thomas Aquinas, the medieval theologian, left one of the most significant medieval interpretations of this concept of magnificent, drawing on the Greco-Roman tradition and blending it with Christian precepts. He brought together the pagan idea of human magnificence with the Jewish Christian idea according to which man should always be reverent toward God. In the Summa Theologica, magnificence is a virtue that belongs to God, which can also be shared by men. Aquinas adopts Cicero's definition of magnificence, highlighting how it consists in doing great things. Magnificence belongs to the virtue of fortitude or courage, because it regards the undertaking of great things and actions and persevering even when circumstances can make their realization difficult. I think we can agree with Aquinas that this virtue belongs to God and to God as us. Magnificence, in times when kings and queens ruled, was thought of as belonging to God and the rulers. Since magnificence belongs to God and you're an expression of God, we share the attributes of God. If God is magnificent, what does that make us? Jesus told us not to hide our light under a bushel basket. Our light is our greatness, our magnificence. How do we hide our light? Have you ever received a compliment on something you did and said something like, I don't know, I can't say that I did anything special? Or upon complimenting your appearance or your clothing, you respond to this old thing? How do you feel when you say something like that? Lessened? You're not recognizing your magnificence. Or do you try to return the compliment? Maybe a simple thank you is appropriate. Or maybe, thank you, I like it too. I'm sure you can think of other ways that you hide your light. How do you feel when you deny your magnificence? Not good, I'll bet. You do not need to deny your magnificence. If, as a unique, unrepeatable expression of God, you share the attributes of God, you have every right to glory in your magnificence. However, most people might consider this glorification egotistical. But is it? Of course it isn't. It's you, it's your birthright. Your mission in life and your magnificence are intertwined. Your magnificence and your mission are what the entire universe is blessed to be receiving from you. Only you can give this in your inimitable way. Only you can give this in the unique way that is you. Your life message is the love that only you can give, only you can do and be. To remind others of who and what they are is a message only you can give. Frequently not verbally, not in a lecture, or in a way that might be off-putting, but by being. I remember a story Suzanne was fond of telling. She was at her youth seminars, and there was a minister in the cabin named Reverend Beth Newton. Reverend Beth said that Suzanne taught her a valuable lesson. Suzanne was asleep and quietly shivering and crying. And as the adult counselor in the cabin, Reverend Beth got up to see what was wrong. She absentmindedly put on her robe and saw that Suzanne was uncomfortable and cold. So even though she was also cold, she gave Suzanne one of her blankets, after which she climbed back into her bunk with her robe still on. Suzanne, now being warm, quieted down, and remarkably, Reverend Beth felt even warmer without the extra blanket. Her robe trapped her body heat better than the blanket had. She was reminded that you don't give anything away. Suzanne was fulfilling her mission, even though she didn't know it, until she was told by Reverend Beth. She didn't know the effect she had had that night. So how do you know if your assignment, your mission is complete? Well, as Richard Bach says in Illusions, if you're alive, it isn't. The Course in Miracles tells us that your mission is beyond you. Your assignment is cosmic. Your assignment and my assignment is to love and to remind others of their assignment. Frequently not by lecturing or telling others, but by being. Being the love that you are. Remembering that you are love and you are loved, and expressing the love that you feel. And always, 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 always remembering your magnificence.